Hello everyone, I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. In the headlines, UWP Senator Dr. Thompson Fontaine refutes claims he has vacated his seat in Parliament. Prime Minister Skerrit is not ruling out the possibility of legal action against Ross University, and All Hands and Hearts open new school facilities in Mount Prosper. The details coming up.
Rudolph Thomas Enterprise in Portsmouth, your suppliers of building materials and hardware products. Over 20 years experience in the business. Rudolph Thomas has lumber and plywood, galvanized and fence pipe. Check out Rudolph Thomas for ceramic and vinyl floor and wall tiles, nails, nuts and bolts, paint and painting supplies. And check out their line of electrical and hand tools. Go now to Rudolph Thomas on 1240 Bay Street in Portsmouth.
UWP Senator Dr. Thompson Fontaine has refuted the way his absence from Parliament has been characterized by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister says Fontaine vacated his seat by missing 3 consecutive sittings of Parliament without the Speaker's permission. Dr. Fontaine spoke to Matt Peltier on Thursday.
The rules are very clear. You know, if you are unable to make it to a cabinet meeting, to a Parliament meeting, you inform the clerk of the House of the reason for your absence. That's according to Standing Order 15.1. And 15.2, the Speaker then excuses you from the House. Now, the very first time I wrote requesting to be excused, I did not do it correctly because I addressed it directly to the Speaker. She immediately saw it fit to correct me. I understood. She corrected me, and I then went to the clerk of the House. He explained to me the correct way of doing it. And since then, I've been doing it correctly, doing it according to what is requested of me in the standing order. So it is very strange that the Speaker can now say that I've missed 3 consecutive things. It's not a matter of just missing. The question is, if you do not inform of your absence, that is when it becomes effective. But if I have been, as I have been doing, informing, and also the Prime Minister said I've not been in Parliament for a whole year, that is not true. I was in Parliament in 2018. The fact of the matter is Parliament has been carried on so infrequently that it almost has become insignificant. In September they only gave the opposition 2 days notice of a sitting of Parliament. Now here I am in South Sudan. Obviously, it takes 2 full travel days to get to Dominica. There's no way I was going to be able to make it in time. So when that happened, it was that particular incident that happened that prompted me to call the leader, Honorable Lennox Linton, and indicate to him that it was clear that the whole process that has been undertaken by the Speaker is meant to get me out of Parliament. So I think it's time for me to resign because it's not practical for me to come to Dominica in 2 days. Now, mark you, I have been to Dominica several times. In the year, I was in Dominica 3-4 times a year. So it's not a question of getting there. Because I could easily change my scheduling. It was a question of the amount of notice that was being given. And the fact that she had now cut down the notice period from 12 days to 2 days told me that they really wanted it. And I said, listen, I think it's time for me to end this. We had this conversation as early as September. And it is my fault that I did not follow. I told them that I would go ahead and do the resignation letter. And it's my fault that I did not follow through because so much is going on. And I honestly forgot and did not get to doing that particular resignation. But as far as I was concerned, I was already out. So, it's important that people understand that. The other thing I wanted to mention, the Prime Minister talked about the fact that I still in the salary. Listen, one trip from South Sudan, 1-way ticket, a whole salary of a senator is not enough to finance that. The Prime Minister again engaged on a chorus of lies, and I wonder why it is that he keeps doing this, indicating that Lennox, the Honorable Leader of the Opposition, tried to discourage me from going to South Sudan, and that I stood up to him and said him that nothing of that happened. Honorable Lennox Linton was the first one to encourage me to go out there, tell me, go out there, do what I have to do, but come back. And let me just be very clear. I wholeheartedly support Honorable Lennox Linton as a leader of the United Workers' Party.
An over $500,000 renovated school facility has officially been handed over to the people of Mont Prosper. Andrea Louis reports.
On Thursday, the All Hands and Hearts Smart Response Team, in collaboration with a number of other partners, officially handed over the completely renovated Mont Prosper preschool and primary school to the community. Work on this project began in August 2018, and as there are a few finishing touches to add to the compound, the entire project is expected to be completed by the end of January. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Chandler Hyacinth, commended All Hands and Hearts for their invaluable contribution towards the education sector in Dominica.
We have to say special thanks for all the work that All Hands and Hearts have been doing in terms of mobilizing funds from organizations to support us. These contributions are well appreciated. This facility will help provide some quality to our education system. The construction of this school is just the latest chapter in the story of the life of Mont Prosper Primary School. The challenge now for us is towards improvement. Improvement so that we can see this school as a school that the community can be proud of, a school that the community can show respect to, and a school that the community can protect.
Co-founder and chairperson of the All Hands and Hearts, David Campbell, urged the pupils of the renovated school to take advantage of the opportunities provided to them through this upgraded facility.
And my message to you would be, you have this unusual opportunity. You will have the opportunity for a great education with your country, the ministry, and your teachers and your community organized to provide that. But you also have the unusual gift of people from around the world who gathered to recognize your need and chose to step up and contribute to it. And so I hope you'll take the opportunity to use the school, to use the teachers, to strengthen yourself to help your country, and adopt a recognition that joy will come from your ability to develop the ability to give to others, and find that the real joy will be when you can use those skills that you develop to help the world, and through that, really help yourself.
Minister for Education, Peter Serja, commended the organizations for their work in completing the school plant and announced that 5 schools welcomed back students to their original locations this week.
My ministry, the Ministry of Education, is extremely grateful, and we are indeed humbled by the show of support from this group of volunteers who have toiled day and night to make this a reality. This week, we returned students from 5 schools to their own plants for the first time since the passage of Hurricane Maria. And today, we are adding Mont Prosper to the list of completed projects. At other schools, students are returning to regular schedules where they had previously operated on shift systems to accommodate other schools.
Among key contributors to the Mont Prosper School renovation project were the Cable and Wireless Charitable Foundation, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings Limited, and Latter-day Saints Charities. Andrea Louis, Channel 5 News.
A strong likelihood that government could go to Parliament this year to legislate on medical marijuana. Prime Minister Skerrit says he has concerns about the impact of having cannabis readily available on the country's young people.
We've taken the first decisive action to have a national consultation, the first time, led by a government. The Rastafarian movement has had consultations in the past, but first in the government, the government of Dominica has led that consultation. We believe that we need to explore and pursue the medicinal benefits of marijuana. The government and the Labour Party have always held that it is unfair to citizens to have on their records for their lifetime, you know, if they were to be arrested for small quantity of marijuana for personal use. So we're prepared to look at this aspect of decriminalization where this is concerned. We have no difficulty in allowing the Rastafarian community who use the cannabis, the herb, as part of their religious rituals. So we're looking at that. Where I always have the caution is that in the process of doing all of these things, that we do not expose the young minds of our society to the possibility of abuse of this, because everything has a benefit. Sugar is good, too much of it causes a problem. Salt is good, too much of it causes a problem. You know, so yes, the cannabis may be good, but too much of it may have a challenge. You understand? And we have to be mindful of the impact on the young minds and in not affecting our young people. So I am, you know, where this is concerned, I have some concerns. Some may say, well, the empirical data and evidence shows otherwise. You know, I hear you on that, yes. But as the leader of the country, I do not want to be in a situation where my conscience can haunt me. So far, no decision I've taken has caused me not to sleep at night. And therefore, I am very careful about how we approach this in respect to ensuring that our young minds do not have access to this unduly.
There has been discussion also on the potential economic benefits of decriminalizing cannabis. The Prime Minister says his stance on the matter differs significantly from that of the opposition UWP.
I have heard the opposition parading this as an economic savior for the country. Yeah. They've been ill-advised. They've been ill-advised. And while one, yes, we may be able to get some benefit from it, but I don't see marijuana, in all due respect to anybody who's talking about this thing, as an economic savior for the country.
The Prime Minister was asked whether Parliament would take up the matter this year.
Certainly. Certainly. We'll go to Parliament. We are looking at legislation that has been passed in other jurisdictions, because it makes no sense you go and invent the wheel when it has already been invented. So we're looking at what other countries have done and to see how we can learn from these experiences. I mean, in some countries, marijuana has been used as medicinal purposes for a very long time, for several decades. For example, in Israel, you know, they've had tremendous successes in this. Even the university I went to, they have a pharmacology department getting federal aid, you know, for almost the entire existence of the university. So people, their studies have been done on this. And we'll go to Parliament to pass certain pieces of legislation to facilitate the Rastafarian and community to have access to this for their religious purposes, and to address the records of many of our young people who would have been arrested by the police and charged by the courts for a couple of marijuana cigarettes, and who want to move on with life and who have made a change in their lives and so on, but cannot go forward because of that stain.
And government is reporting progress in the implementation of a national health insurance pilot program. The idea is to build the national health insurance scheme gradually. The Prime Minister spoke of the impact of the pilot program administered through the Social Security on Tuesday. He says tremendous progress has been made so far. To date, close to $3 million has been spent on the pilot program.
The fact is, we're looking at this and we're learning from this experience. So every year or two we will extend it and eventually get to the whole. So instead of waiting to create this national health insurance scheme all at once, let us start. And as we go along, we'll learn from the experiences and see how we can make changes to improve on it and to eventually get to national health insurance.
You are watching Channel 5 News. We'll have more after the break.
M&J Covering is the producer of designed galvanized and galvalume in Dominica. They design to your specifications, color and length, 4 styles of galvanized and galvalume pre-painted roofing sheets as requested, and supply all your galvalume accessories. M&J Covering helps you control spending and reduce waste. At M&J Covering, they are also equipped to build your roof to precise standards anywhere on island. So come to M&J Covering at 1 Mile in Portsmouth or call 445-5001 275-5003 today.
The Roosevelt-Skerrit government is not ruling out the possibility of taking legal action against Ross University. In August 2018, Ross University announced its departure, effectively shutting down operations in Dominica, choosing to relocate to Barbados. That ended 40 years of operations in Dominica for the medical school. The decision by Ross to pull out of Dominica came in spite of the existence of a renewed 25-year contract with government. As of December 31st, 2018, government gained full possession of the facilities at Picard.
We believe my view to the government is that we should pursue Ross where compensation is concerned. We had a lease agreement with Ross, and Ross broke the lease unilaterally. And there are several of our citizens who would have invested based on the lease with Ross, specifically to Ross. And I believe that we may very well pursue Ross where compensation is concerned.
But could government have done more to keep Ross in Dominica?
There's nothing the government, Ross took a decision by itself. There's nothing the government, that Ross asked the government to do that the government did not do. As a matter of fact, the firm decision of the government was to focus on the campus of Ross. So we got lights back at Ross first before anywhere else. We got water back at Ross first before anywhere else. We got internet connected at Ross before anywhere else. We engaged Ross by indicating to Ross what else do we need to do. Ross raised one issue, we addressed it. You see what I'm saying? It is simply, in this business world, an economic decision taken by Ross. It has nothing to do with Ross in the government. As a matter of fact, I will say to you, if Ross had come to me and said, okay, Prime Minister, look, we have to invest $40 million to US to fix the campus based on the damage caused by Hurricane Maria. Can you do half? We would have put in $20 million US into the campus. But I will also say to the Jamaican citizens that some of the buildings that got affected by by Hurricane Maria were buildings that were part of the partnership agreement to be replaced with all of the concessions granted to us. So these were not buildings that were built recently that got damaged. These were buildings that had to be replaced anyway based on the agreement we had in them, the 25-year partnership agreement which we had with them. So there's nothing the government could have done that Ross asked us to do. So, for example, Clare Harbour. We went to Clare Harbour. I spoke to the gentleman by telephone very early after the hurricane, and they were very transparent with us. They said, look, Prime Minister, we need these 4 or 5 things. And I went down there myself and mobilized the resources of the state, fixed the sheds. I front-loaded the resources to the aid bank because the aid bank waited for insurance money. We gave the aid bank $4 million to fix the sheds. We even went as far as giving Clare Harbour a government-owned generator to continue its business because there were fluctuations from Dominic at the time. You see what I'm saying? And I myself mobilized government vehicle to bring the generator down to Clare Harbour. You see, so with a partner like that, you knew what the partner wanted and what you need to do to get it going. With respect to the property owners, all of the property owners fixed their apartments and so forth. And Ross sent in inspectors, they checked with the apartment owners, and we would have been able to provide housing for all of the students and all of the faculty as early, I believe, as September of that year. But this is a decision they took, and they moved out, and we have to move on. But I will say to the people, there's nothing that Ross asked us to do that we don't do. And I'm saying that if they had come to me and said, we need to invest $40 million, can you put half? I would have gladly put $20 million US and to invest on the campus to sustain the presence of Ross.
Residents of Mount Prosper are being encouraged to exercise patience with the ongoing roadworks in that community. The call came from Member of Parliament for the Roseau Valley, Dr. Colin McIntyre. McIntyre explained the main road to the community had been compromised by Hurricane Maria, and this proved an opportune time to develop that piece of infrastructure.
The road has been there for a number of years, but it's become very difficult after Hurricane Maria. And we had no choice no choice. We started the first development of the first half of the road. But in the Lescali area, you'll notice that it got very, very tricky and dangerous there. Now, I saw it fit as PAL rep to make sure we get inside there and have this project where we can cut the cliffs and at least we can have some form of road work heading to Mount Prospect. So I must say to all our folks here who are struggling with that on a daily basis, just be patient with us because what's coming is good for you. What's coming is very good for you. It's difficult, I must say. It's not a joke because we're trying to allow you to use the road. At the same time, we must construct the road.
The main road into the community isn't the only area receiving attention. Dr. McIntyre says ongoing roadworks within the village and other developmental projects in the area will provide an enhanced community experience for residents.
You will also notice that right in the village, there was a diversion. And this diversion had to do in terms of the village road we have just started. The Mount Prospect village has been without a real proper road for a very long time. And under this government, and this is not about politics, we saw it fit that we're going to put in a road for the people in Mount Prospect. And of course the lights, put street lights in there such that our village can use the road and feel safe. So when you look at the excavation taking place lower down, the village road being drained, the lighting of the road as well too, together with a brand new water system which is in the books for here as well too. The plans for Mount Prospect are tremendous. So I'd like to say to people, just be patient, embrace the opportunity, embrace a new beginning for Mount Prospect.
The Roseau Valley MP was speaking at the handing over ceremony of the Mount Prospect preschool and primary school on Thursday, where he also profoundly thanked all hands and hearts and the contributing partners for making that project a success. And Calypso lovers won't have to wait until the 2nd of February for another dose of live Calypso music. Andrea Louis explains.
This as the Stardom Calypso Tent will kick off on Saturday. The Stardom Tent has been a staple on Dominica's carnival calendar, and as the tent celebrates its 28th anniversary, band leader of the Swinging Stars Band, Peter Later, is promising this year's tent will be top class.
I can say, with what I have heard so far in the practices, this year's Stardom Tent is going to be on fire. The Stardom Tent also welcomes back the Freetime Monarch, Hunter, the Web, and the Black Diamond. And although the season has not yet exactly started, the controversy has started, so that should just give you a clear idea of what it is to come.
Event promoter Leroy Wadix Charles says the lineup of Calypsonians will include some fresh faces and some veterans. He revealed that the Stardom Tent will have an extended run as the backup band, the Swinging Stars Band, is celebrating 60 years in existence this year.
Our package will start from this Saturday throughout May Day. So the package you're going to be hearing, because this year is a very special year for Stardom, and it's because our band, our backup band, will be celebrating 60 years this year. The legendary Swinging Stars, the greatest dance band in the world, will be celebrating 60 years. So we have extended Carnival and post-Carnival to go to May Day. So some of the activities you can expect at this year's Stardom Tent: the Night of the Monarchs, featuring the Tent Monarchs, the Road March Monarchs, and also the Calypso Monarchs in battle for supremacy.
President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Davidson the Observer Victor, applauded the Stardom Tent management for hosting an event this carnival season despite the economic climate.
On behalf of the Dominica Calypso Association, I would just like to say once again that we appreciate the fact that Stardom Tent once again can come forward and brave the economic weather and put on a season that to me, based on what I heard already, is going to be a very fruitful and exciting Calypso season. Stardom Tent has a history of doing things and doing things well. We do it and we do it well. So we expect that this year is no exception.
The Stardom Tent starts off this Saturday at Lale Coco in Louviers and will be hosted on Wednesdays thereafter.
To end the news, a look again at the headlines. UWP Senator Dr. Thompson Fontaine refutes claims he has vacated his seat in Parliament. Prime Minister Skerrit not ruling out legal action against Ross University. And All Hands and Hearts open new school facilities in Mount Prosper. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You may access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris. Thank you for watching. Join us tomorrow.